Hi guys, do you like the shirt I got from Hot Topic? Wait. Got a lot of letters asking for Sonic to own a gun. Ugh, we can't have our golden child owning firearms. Now Shadow, on the other hand. And that's how we got this on store shelves. This wasn't an actual letter, it was just a drawing. Probably could have done better with the arms. Being a Sonic fan can suck. On one hand, if a game's truly great, it's a grand celebration. Call up the 3 Fs and tell them you're busy. On the other hand, it wouldn't be like that if there weren't as many flops. Different people have different answers as to when the series started going downhill, but if you ask me, the first game that riled up the masses was Shadow the Hedgehog, responsible for memes, confusion, and the destruction of Shadow's character. Don't worry, the next game got him right. And then they forgot about that 4 years later and never remembered. In honor of that, I'm replacing my Smash 64 sensor with Shadow's insightful language. Like so. I have no clue what I think of this game. I'm not lying when I say that. When I was younger, I loved this game. Why? Who knows. I've come back to some levels here and there, but I haven't done a full playthrough in years. And I can't think of any better way to spend my time. Ah! I'll get to that after college. With Shadow having a morality shift in Adventure 2 and getting bonked with cliché amnesia, it was hard to tell where his allegiance lied. That is, of course, unless you play these games. Why is that still there? Because of this moral ambiguity, the story and levels are structured around the idea of you choosing what you want Shadow to be. Psych, bitch! After you get all 10 endings, the last story's unlocked, invalidating the entire point. Why? You, that's why. It always starts the same way. Shadow probably thinking no one else knows enough about his past to ask around, only for aliens to fall from the sky. I wonder if everyone's gonna be racist towards them.
Looks like these black creatures really mean business.
I was right! Their leader, Dr. Claw the Devil Starfish voiced by Goku, tells Shadow to bring him the 7 Chaos Emeralds.
If he says he knows the truth about who I am, then like it or not, I have to believe him.
That's not even what he said. Is Shadow an idiot, or did the localization trip over its foot? I'll leave that up to you to decide. The first level is Westopolis, and its design is fantastic. So fantastic that the game forces you to play it 10 times in order to get to the last story. Get used to that. Every stage has 2 or 3 missions going with a certain allegiance. Your direction shifts with each mission you do, and on one hand, this could make for some good replayability. On the other hand, what did I say a minute ago? This structure is really what shoots the game out of the gate. Heroes established him as an anti-hero, and Battle ignored his amnesia completely. That or the game took place after. So the morality thing should have been scrapped. Just make one story with one ending and maybe some different paths here and there. You know, like in the same vein as Castlevania 3 or Rondo of Blood. Well, now that I got the most obvious problem out of the way, what about the alternate missions? Are they at least fun to play and worth the wacky structure?
The answer is yes and no.
A lot of missions are cut from the same cloth, and the one you'll see the most is Genocide. Starfish wants you to destroy gun soldiers while Sonic is fending off the Black Arms. You, have a few to take out. Okay, a lot to take out. And aside from a few stragglers in certain levels, the number they give you usually means from my experience, if you just simply keep your eyes peeled, you won't miss any enemies unless it's the Doom. Most stages are pretty linear, and even if one splits up, only one path tends to have the enemies you need to take out. A radar still would have been nice though. Exclusive to this game is Shadow's Smash Bros. Planning.
For his neutral special, he wields a gun.
The guns, as out of place as they are, function pretty well. Most of them shave enemy health bars pretty quickly, and if you fill up your hero or dark gauge, on top of that, you're invincible and get a special ability with the Y button. The Dark Gauge gives you Chaos Blast, an explosion that honestly isn't as good as infinite ammo. The Hero Gauge gives you Chaos Control, which allows you to speed through the level and helps with goal ring missions. While these abilities aren't as good as, they're still better than the other things you can do. Shadow has the Spin Dash, but you can only do it from a standstill and you have to charge it in order to get good speed. And before you say it's always been like that. Punches are weak, have zero range, and are more pointless than the vehicles. Aside from driving over poison in Central City or jumping high in some later levels, you have no reason to use these. The best thing about Shadow, well, besides, is the improvements to the control mapping. Rather than slapping everything on the B button like in the adventure games, your weapons are relegated to B, Chaos powers on Y, and while the X button covers several things, the game is far better at recognizing your intended action than in adventure. Most of the time. Besides that moment there, light dashing is easier than it is in the adventure games, and ring trails are even recycled in case you need to backtrack. And as for grinding, I'll get to that later. Truly, everything about Shadow is an improvement from previous games. Except for one thing. While his acceleration isn't nearly as high as the speed characters in Sonic Heroes, he's just as slippery and his jumps are sluggish. You notice it in stages like Glyphic Canyon and Cosmic Fall. Granted, I can get used to it, but if you aren't careful, you'll run the risk of sliding or jumping off of the stage several times. Westopolis isn't a very good first level. It's hard to keep the flow going, and the can get in the way. Or clear the way depending on where you are. You'll have to go past the goal ring in order to clear the Dark and Hero missions. Despite the game's mission structure, there actually aren't that many levels that do that. All of the second stages are actually pretty strong. While Digital Circuit is highly prophetic for being a flashy level with large sections where you just tilt left and right, or stand around like a Luigi, it has the ideal mission structure. Point B for Hero, Point C for Dark. No collectathon busy work. Glyphic Canyon is pretty fun too, even with some slow platforming and floating debris. You get several opportunities to go fast, the Dark mission is barely different from reaching the goal ring, and the Hero mission actually gives you some leeway as to how many enemies are in the level. Strange, isn't it? Oh hey Knights. Lethal Highway's Dark mission is the most speed-friendly mission in the game. I mean, look! Black Streak, speeds by, Meatball the Edgelord. Sonic wants to kick the enemy while they're down by blowing up their car. A little extreme, don't you think? There are two ways you can go about this. You can either build up the hero gauge or use special weapons. The one you get depends on the ending you get, and the opposite mission for that stage will power up the weapon once you complete it. To run by them pretty quickly, 2D Link brought to life, I'm a fire in my leg. The most useful Omo Chow has ever been, a cannon that's only useful for one mission, and yeah, not even a Gatling can compare to the Shadow Rifle. Gotta beat the game for it first, though. Cryptic Castle. This is a weird one. You're not doing much running here. You'll fly on balloons, commandeer black birds, and light a whole bunch of lanterns. It's not awful, but the area between the third and fourth giant lantern is a complete pace breaker. You have to keep a torch on you here, which is annoying in itself because melee weapons, especially if they come from the scenery, are about as effective as throwing a stick. The area is also very stop and go. I mean, the earlier doors already had some of that, you could argue, but at least there was some space between them. Really, that's my only major problem. The giant lanterns for the Dark mission are impossible to miss. Finding Cream for the Hero mission is just as simple as going under the second lantern and breaking a wall. And the end of the stage has a three-way split, one path for each mission.
I think it was cheap.
Hey guys, are you okay? Hawaii got the forestation treatment in the months/years since it got blown up.
Somebody give me answers!
And it's now filled with poison rivers that my friend calls alien piss, along with extreme bounce pads. You'll be spending half the level crossing the alien piss with red saucers. They float, they can jump I guess, and their traction is weak. That doesn't really get in the way of the stage though. Switching weapons automatically, on the other hand, can be pretty annoying. You could just turn invincible and skate through the poison like a boss though. It's a bit faster. Charmy wants you to find 5 discs while... Wait, Charmy? Oh no. Eventually that means we'll have to...
Find the computer room!
Starfish, on the other hand, demands more genocide. No, I'm not calling Malamar here by his regular name. The goal ring comes before a third river that leads to the final disc. The discs are pretty inoffensive, just a neutral mission with a little extra ground to cover. Genocide is genocide, keep to the bottom rivers, whatever.
Say the line.
Shadow?
Where's that damn fourth Chaos Emerald?
Can I talk about the voice acting?
Damn,
Ironically,
chaos
the game that tried to be darker was the first game to use the 4Kids cast. And,
Tails?
Woohoo! Now we're talking! Bring it on!
Look at that! It's Eggman's theme park. He made it out of the rings he's taken from around the world.
Yes, Doctor. You will regret ever having created me. You're going straight to hell.
Shadow, damn you. It's been 50 years. Justice will finally be served.
Help! We're being sucked in!
No, that's impossible.
Find the computer room.
the cast didn't peak here, that's for sure. Some characters like Sonic, Vector, and I guess Shadow himself are more funny than anything, but Tails, Knuckles, and especially Rouge, they are not fun to listen to. Now, my only problem with Circus Park is that the last 30 seconds is just watching. Other than that, it's a fast and fun time. Eggman's genocide request is the easiest one in the game, and getting 400 rings isn't much of a challenge. You get like half of them just from bashing a few targets and only lose 10 if you get hit. A feature that I wish stayed for more games. I find the hatred for this mission pretty overblown. The fourth stages are super mixed. Central City lacks a goal ring, so you have to do something here. Blowing up the large bombs for Starfish isn't too bad. As long as you take note of the TNT at certain walls, the bombs are essentially in a straight line. The small bombs I can't be as merciful towards. The hero mission is so close to not being bad. You have to defuse 20 small bombs with either the vacuum pod or... There's a lot more than 20, and they're usually on different paths than the big bombs. If it was any other stage, I'd be cool here, but in Central City, you're hunting for these things like the Master Emerald shards in the adventure games. Thing is, you're not Knuckles. You have to stay on the ground in a stage that tries to be confined, but doesn't go all the way, meaning you can get lost, and keeping a vacuum means you're stuck with it instead of using more preferable weapons. Oh, and some of the small bombs just explode on their own, so there's that too. It's not the biggest pain in the ass, but there's a reason why I've only played this mission maybe 4 times in my entire life. Having fun there?
The bombs will disarm in a matter of seconds. I was wrong to have trusted you.
Everything is collapsing around me.
The city is...
Starfish just said the Doom.
Damn,
The stage, fuck the stage, fuck the stage. The Doom is a maze, plain and simple. Unless you memorized enough of the level to reach the end quickly, like I have, you'll spend several minutes just plain lost. Even though I can end the neutral mission in 3 minutes, that's still bad design, and one of those minutes is just monotonous elevators. Any collectathon mission in this stage would be a pain. Speaking of which, 60 enemies. 60 enemies that you have to kill for the Dark mission. This isn't like Glyphic Canyon where it's a straight path with some wiggle room. No. You will look for all 60 enemies yourself, and you're gonna like it. The hero mission isn't as bad since it's only 10 researchers, but you still have to look around and toss heal units at them. The heal cannon is my preferred choice here. Frees up your hands. Sky Troops is just Glyphic Canyon again, but in the air now. If you went all neutral for your first time, I pity you. The missions are all fine and good though. Eggman has you destroy the very jewels you activated before. Wait, how are the temples active without you doing the Dark mission? While Starfish is trying to destroy the airships. It's impossible to miss your targets. The jump buggy is actually sort of fun to travel with because you can take a shortcut or two, and the level doesn't really slow down much. It gets a full pass.
This blue sky, staring at it from afar. Have I seen it before?
Yeah, I don't know what that means either.
The X button lets me get in and out, and the B...
Huh. Do I blame the game for being 8 years old, or the console for being a dusty paperweight for 8 years? Oh well, I know what to do. Team Chaotix was able to
Find the computer room.
of Eggman's, and from there we enter Mad Matrix. It's like Digital Circuit, but far more expansive. I feel like there's a message here about cybersecurity. There are 4 towers, all of which have color swapping puzzles, but you only have to go through blue and red to reach the goal ring. SBO wants you to touch the terminal in each tower, with the blue one being mandatory. It's long, but putting aside the spin dash fiasco, it doesn't necessarily annoy me. In fact, I think it's good. It lets you explore the entire stage. Now the dark mission, on the other hand, you have to hit 30 bombs spread throughout the lightspeed circuit. 30 in what's essentially a massive open field without an amazing draw distance. God help you if the camera fucked up, which it's prone to do. Even the devs knew how long it takes to clear the mission, because you can spend upwards of 13 minutes and still get the A rank. Reaching the terminals is only 9 at most. What went wrong? Anyway, Death Ruins. This is one of my favorite stage themes! That's not a joke, but it's also not saying much. The game's OST isn't bad, but a lot of stage tracks go over your head easily. I can name a few I know I like, such as Lethal Highway, Digital Circuit, Death Ruins, Lost Impact, and a few more I'll get to later, but it's overall a step down from Heroes, which was already... well, you get the picture. The vocal tracks are a mixed bag. On one hand, you have Cream's theme from Sonic Advance 2. But you also have the classic... Anyway, Death Ruins. Fast and fun if you're dark, but Hero involves genocide. As long as you land on this ledge and don't take any slime trails past it, you should be fine. Time for the 5th stages. The arc is just Panzer Dragoon without 360-degree aiming. Shoot some defense systems on the way through, or don't. Really doesn't change a thing. Air Fleet is fine. It's almost as platform heavy as Sky Troops. What is it with sky levels and platforms? And Chaos Control's really easy to pull off here. Tails wants you to commit genocide, and it's probably the easiest out of the missions involving Black Arms. They're impossible to miss. They all stay on one path. Starfish wants you to destroy the President's escape pod. Another destroy a traveling object mission like the tank in Lethal Highway. The escape pod, however, can take one hell of a beating. If you don't... you won't destroy the pod. I would be angrier about this, but I've made multiple attempts and only failed once. More importantly, the Shadow Rifle exists and can end the mission in 2 minutes. If you're still having trouble, just die. Depending on where and when you die, the escape pod's position will reset, but its damage won't. Speaking of the Shadow Rifle, Iron Jungle's Hero mission has you destroy a blimp in a similar fashion. While it's harder to face it and fire at the same time, it's a lot less durable. If you don't have the Shadow Rifle, you can grab a Gatling and fill the hero gauge, or play risky with bazookas. I say risky because they have no auto-aim. You can reach the goal ring pretty quickly, and genocide's pretty easy here as long as you follow the beetles. Man, Eggman's really good at giving quick genocide missions. Makes sense. Space Gadget's probably the best level in the game objectively. It packs the speed, the Dark mission, being the same as the Arc, has its own path dedicated to it, and Sonic Racing You equates to the Neutral and Hero mission being the same. Reach the goal in under 5 minutes for Hero, over for Neutral. Depending on your skill, you might be waiting at the end for a bit though. How long? Are you serious? The timer was just about to end. Guess we'll just have to wait until part 2. It shouldn't be that long, I mean... Wait, what? Bosses? Last story? What do you mean there's multiplayer?